Hello. Hello, everyone. Wish you all a very happy and a very good Sunday morning. Hope you all are doing well and keeping safe. Okay. Okay. Good morning. I'm so glad you all could join me here today. Okay, so I am Ratna Gupta and I am an educator. I have my preschool in Pune in India, which goes by the name of Little Genius Preschool. And today, again, as always, before I start the story telling session, would like to address and try to answer another question which the parents often ask me at school. So the parents are, often amazed to see children. Hello, often amazed to see children at school sitting quietly in circles and raising their hands to speak and waiting for their turn and sharing their toys with their friends and generally portray what we call good behavior. Now, the question which the parents ask is, how do teachers do it? How do they get so many children to cooperate willingly and happily? So let me just say to all of you that there is no secret formula, but I would just want to share a few tips with all of you, which will help you to your child to cooperate with you in school, at home. Okay, so first and foremost is that praise is the key. So I would say try to catch your child when she is being good. We all know that kids repeat behaviors that get attention, right? So if they are getting your attention by being destructive, they tend to repeat the behavior to get your attention. So please don't miss a chance to appreciate and praise them when you see them doing anything good. We never miss out on it at school, and believe me, the positive feedback works wonders. Then the second thing, you have to you have to develop some kind of predictable routines in your child's day. So like kids cooperate in school because they know what's expected of them. Children follow essential routine day after day, so they quickly learn what they are supposed to be doing, and after a while they barely need reminding. So at home also, if you have a set routine for them, they tend to cooperate better and happily. Then another thing which you all can do is you can turn responsibilities into games. So if your child refuses to do something, try turning it into a game. This is a sure shot way for the children to willing to be cooperative. So like at school also, when we have to wind up an activity and keep things away, we try to involve the children as well and do it in a fun way. So the sense of responsibility comes in them and they happily do it because it's play and fun for them. You don't even have to really ask them or nag them to do it after that. And another thing which can make your child cooperate with you is if you give them advanced notice before any transition. So like if your child refuses to agree when you ask him to switch to doing something else, like whether it may mean shutting off the TV or stop playing and come to eat, or leaving a friend's house, it could be that you are not giving enough advance notice. At school, what we do is we let kids know when transitions are coming, so they have time to finish whatever they are doing. For example, so at home, like if you have to leave at 8:30 a.m., warn your child at 8:15 that she has 5 more minutes to play. This really helps them feel kind of in control of the situation, and they happily cooperate because they really want to finish whatever they are doing. So they don't want to just switch immediately. Give them time to have some transition, give them some transition time. Then another thing is that you should avoid using if statements. You should be making requests in language that assumes cooperation. So like if you are using a statement like, if you finish putting away your crayons, we can go to the park. Now, this kind of statement suggests that perhaps your child won't clean up his crayons, right? And that you already doubt him in doing so. Instead of that, try saying, when you put your crayons away, we'll go to the park. Now, this kind of statement develops an understanding for your child that he is capable of finishing the task and he will do it happily. And now, last but not the least in any way, is that you can turn on music while completing the task. So there is definitely a reason the cleanup song works at school. We always sing while cleaning up or winding our toys, and it really works. So if you set a task to music, it is suddenly lots of fun for the children. And another thing is you can also suggest a racing game to your child. So it always, excites them to be able to beat the teacher at school doing something. Like if I may say, can you pick up your toys before this Old MacDonald song gets over? And they will try their best to finish the job and cooperate. So hope these tips help you and your child to be in sync and always work together happily. All right. So good morning, a very, very good morning to all of you once again, and a big hello to all of you. I'm really, really glad that all of you could join me today. Now, coming to our storytelling session today. Today's story is about when a wicked wizard captures a princess. So, children, do you know who is a wizard? Who is a wizard? Good morning, everyone. A wizard is a person who has got lots of magical powers and magical skills, and he can really do lots of magic. Some wizards may even be able to change something into something else with his magic. Okay, so this story is about a wicked wizard. He's not a nice one, okay? He's a wicked one, cunning, wicked wizard, and a princess. We all know who's a princess, right? Yes, it's a magician. Good job. So, princess is, of course, a daughter of king and queen. So, she is a princess. And in today's story, what will happen is, I will just tell you a little bit and then we will read it. So, in today's story, the wizard will capture the princess, and her fairy godmother, the princess's fairy godmother, will grant her 7 wishes to change her shape and change her color and escape the wizard. But what we have to see is whether the princess will be able to outwit this wicked, greedy old wizard. Okay? And we will see that, and we will read today's story. So today's story is called The Princess and the Wizard. Okay? It is written by Julia Donaldson. So that means she is the author of the book, which means she has written all the words in the story for you and me to read. And it is illustrated by Lydia Monks. That means she has drawn all the pictures in this book for you and me to see. So she is the illustrator of this book. Now, if we look at the cover of this book, we see a princess here. She has got nice golden hair. She looks quite scared, kind of, right? And there you see he's the wizard. He has got such a long white beard, and he's wearing a tall black hat, and he looks quite angry. And he's standing on his tall castle. Okay, so what else do we see? Oh, we see a black cat, a black crow, there is a white bird here. Okay, so we already know that the wizard will capture the princess, right? So now we have to read to find out what will she do to escape the wizard, and will she be able to do it? Do you think she will be able to escape and outwit the wizard in the end? What do you think? I think she will be, because she looks quite smart, although right now she's quite scared, but she's a smart princess. Okay, so let's read to find out. Just give me a moment. I will share my screen with all of you, and then we will start. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Okay. So let's start. So this story is called The Princess and the Wizard, and it is written by Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Lydia Monks. Okay, so let's start. It was Princess Eliza's birthday. She was just blowing out 7 candles on her cake when a wicked wizard flew down the chimney and into the room. "Why didn't you invite me to your party?" he thundered. "Because wicked wizards like turning people to stone," replied Princess Eliza. "So they do," said the wizard, and with a flick of his bony fingers, he turned the king, the queen, and all the party guests into stone. Then he laughed his horrible laugh and said to the princess, "Ha ha ha! They like capturing princesses too." Just then, there was a whirring of wings, and in through the window flew the princess's fairy godmother. She was late for the party. When she saw what had happened, she waved her wand and said, "The princess may try 7 times to escape by changing her color and changing her shape." The wizard just laughed his horrible laugh and said, "Ha ha ha! Changing her color and changing her shape will never have princess escape." Then he snapped his bony fingers again and turned the fairy godmother to stone. The wizard whisked the princess up the chimney and carried her away to his tall, dark castle. He locked her in the cellar, where she cried herself to sleep. "Daddy, Mommy," oh, she was really sad. It was her birthday too. The next day was Monday. The wizard unlocked the cellar door. He was holding the big red book which contained all his magic. "This is your first chance to escape," he said. "I shall count to 100 and then I shall come and find you." He opened his book, closed his eyes, and began to count. 1, 2, 3. Princess Eliza ran outside the moat of the castle. Now, children, you know what is a moat? Moat is a ditch, a big ditch, which is dug around a tall castle or a palace to protect that area from the enemies. So it may be dry or it may be filled with water. So it's a big ditch around a building, okay? And this moat was filled with water in this story. So the moat of the castle shone blue under the blue sky. She jumped into the water and turned herself into a blue fish. Oh, she was definitely a clever princess. So because the water was blue, she turned herself into a blue fish. So she would hide easily in that blue water, right? Because that kind of hiding is also called camouflage, you know. So when there are some animals in the jungle who we can't really see or see very clearly, that kind of thing is called camouflage, when the colors are all similar with your background, okay? So she turned herself into a blue fish. 98, 99, 100. The wizard opened his eyes, looked at his magic book, and read. Now, he had a magic book, remember? So the magic book said, "To find where Eliza is hiding from you, look in the moat for the fish that is blue." He fished Eliza out of the moat and took her to his kitchen, which was full of blue plates and pots and pans. They were all covered in dried up food. So you like blue, do you?" he said. "Then set to work and wash." And he locked her in. On Tuesday morning, the wizard unlocked the kitchen door. He looked at the clean plates and pots and pans and grunted. "Chance number 2, he said. Then he opened his book, closed his eyes, and began to count. 1, 2, 3. Princess Eliza ran to the farmyard. She turned herself into a yellow chick and hid in some straw. But the wizard read in his book, The straw in the farmyard is yellow and thick. Princess Eliza's disguised as a chick. He scooped Eliza up and took her to a cupboard which was full of yellow socks. They all had holes in them made by his pointy toenails. "So you like yellow, do you?" he said. Then set to work and darn. And he locked her in. On Wednesday morning, the wizard unlocked the cupboard door, looked at the darned socks, and grunted. "Chance number 3, he said. And he opened his book, closed his eyes, and began to count. Princess Eliza ran to the meadow. She changed herself into a green grasshopper and hid among the grass blades. But the wizard read in his book, "The grasshopper princess is easily seen, chopping away in the meadow so green." Caught Eliza in a net and took her to his green bathroom. The bath, basin, walls, and floor were covered in the wizard's slimy toothpaste. "So you like green, do you?" he said. "Then set to work and wipe." And he locked the door. 3 more days went by. Each day the princess tried to escape. On Thursday, she turned herself into an orange fox and hid in a pile of orange leaves. On Friday, she turned herself into a purple butterfly and fluttered among some purple flowers. On Saturday, she turned herself into a black cat and lurked in a black tunnel. But each time, the wizard found her and gave her yet more work to do. Oh, she looks so tired and so sad. She has been working for the wizard for so long now. On Sunday morning, the wizard came on the roof where Eliza had been scrubbing the sooty chimney pots. Instead of grunting, he laughed his horrible laugh. "Ha ha ha! This is your last chance," he said. "If I catch you this time, you must stay and work for me for the rest of your life." Then he opened his book, closed his eyes, and began to count. 1, 2. Princess Eliza turned herself into a white gull and flew up into a cloud. But as she hovered over the roof where the wizard was still counting, she saw words forming on the page of his book. "So that's how he finds me," she cried. "I shall never escape." Then she had an idea. She was a clever princess, right? We all know that. She turned herself into a page of the wizard's book, a perfectly blank white page with no writing on it. 98, 99, or 100. The wizard finished counting and began to read his book. The princess turned into a bird in the sky. She hid in a cloud. Then she had one more try. Oh, that was the end of the page. The wizard turned over to read more, but there was no more. The next page in his book was blank and white. He flew into a rage. He was extremely angry. "You stupid book!" he shouted, and he hurled it into the moat. He threw it away. The book landed with a splash and sank to the bottom of the moat. All the wizard's magic was gone. At that moment in the palace, the king and queen and all the party guests came back to life. "Where is Princess Eliza?" they asked each other. Nobody knew except the fairy godmother, and she only smiled and said nothing. Princess Eliza had turned herself from a white page into a blue fish. Oh, look at her. She looks so happy also. She turned herself into a blue fish and was swimming to the edge of the moat. Then she turned herself into a yellow chick and ran across in the farmyard. She turned herself into a green grasshopper and hopped over the grass. She turned herself into an orange fox and raced through the orange leaves. She turned herself into a purple butterfly and fluttered over the purple flowers. She turned herself into a black cat and streaked through the black tunnel. She turned herself into a white bird and flew all the way back to the palace and in through the window. She perched on a chair at the tea table and changed herself back into a princess. The king and queen and all the party guests hugged her. Then Princess Eliza cut her birthday cake and everyone had a slice. Finally, she could celebrate her birthday with all the guests and her parents, right? So it was a definitely very happy ending. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, so wasn't she clever in the end? Yes? Okay, she figured out how wizard's magic was working and she did a very clever trick on him by turning herself into a white page of the wizard's book. So even though she was right in front of him, he couldn't see her and couldn't find and catch her. Yes, okay, thank you. And now, the wicked wizard has no more magic left with him because he also, in his rage and in his anger, he threw the book away. So, isn't that a really good thing to get rid of the value? Yes, we have to be always clever and use our wit and intelligence to figure out a way to come out of a difficult situation. So hope you all liked the story and please don't forget to tell me how you liked it. Would really love to hear from all of you. Okay, so now before I come to the end of today's session, just wanted to share with all of you that the preschool admissions are on in our school, and we will be starting with the online sessions from 14th of June for the classes playgroup, nursery, LKG, and UKG. And if I just want to, here I would just like to give all of you a little bit of an insight as to how we conduct our online sessions and how the children actually responded to it this past year. So at the beginning of the year, we really were worried, as to how these little ones will take it. And thank you so much, Kalyani. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Okay, okay, thank you. Yes, she was very clever, Anu. Okay, so yeah, we were really worried about our little ones being able to, actually sit online and be able to, whether we will be able to do it or communicate with them online and without being present there physically. But I'm really happy to say that we could really deliver to our children whatever we had aimed for and could actually see them learning and enjoying the sessions. The parents' feedback were a proof of it. So just to let you all know how we conduct our online sessions, firstly, we keep our batch size really small, not more than 5 children in a batch. So in this way, we can talk to each of them as if in the actual classroom. And the children are also able to, communicate amongst each other, whenever need be. So this gives them a kind of a classroom feel, and they actually don't feel as if they just have to listen to the teacher all the time without getting heard at all. We never ask the children to keep their microphones on mute, as we would not have been able to do so in the physical classroom, right? We can't just ask them to be quiet and listen to the teacher all the time. And we understand that the social development is one of the main reasons the parents want to send the children to school, and it is definitely a very important part of their developmental process as at this age. So trying to overcome that a little. We also have a small snack break, during which time it's mainly to develop their informal social skills, because that's what the children are missing out otherwise throughout the online classes. So during that time, we engage the children in a general talk like, what have you got in your tiffin, and what is your favorite food, or what has mama given you today? Did you ask her to give it, or was it of your choice, or whatever the general talk. And we also encourage them to talk amongst themselves. So this surely helps them to develop the bond with their friends and teachers. And in addition to that, we also encourage children to speak and share their thoughts with their friends and teachers. So we give them lots of opportunities to present stories or do lots of picture conversations, which really helps them develop that confidence and overcome that fear of public speaking, which is a must these days. So coming to the point where sometimes I hear parents feel that they can just show the videos to teach and teach any concept to the child. So our sessions are totally live and interactive. No recorded material is sent to be watched later by the children, and all the academic teaching and concept learning is done through live interaction. And I believe that's how we actually teach the child in the physical classroom, by explaining and answering them at every step along the way. And we are able to achieve that with our children even online. So we definitely follow our structured curriculum thoroughly, so that lots of repetition of the concept happens, and every time it is tackled in a different way, so the children really don't feel bored with it. So and it really reinforces the learning, which is otherwise missed out if we just show the video once, or even if we keep on showing the same video repeatedly, the children may lose interest. So taking into consideration that the children are really small and they may lose interest very soon and may not want to sit in front of the screen and listen to the teacher nonstop. The sessions are really planned in a way where the children are able to follow them easily, and with little guidance from the elder person, of course. And the sessions also involve a lot of movement and rhymes and songs. So it really keeps the children happily engaged throughout. Our curriculum is theme-based and follows Harvard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence, and we do lots of art and craft work with our children according to the ongoing theme. So these activities are an essential part of kindergarten, as through such activities we can work upon upon the proper development of their fine and gross motor skills. So for that, we provide all the craft material, whatever will be needed for the month at the end of the previous month, so that we are able to do whatever we have planned with our children without really worrying about the availability of the material at home. So in turn, and children don't lose out on it at all, and we are actually able to do whatever we may have been able to do in the actual classroom also. And also all the worksheets are also provided every month. The books are given at the beginning of the year, and we carry on doing them as and when according to the theme and the curriculum. Also, all our teachers are very well trained. And in addition to that, I myself am present in every session to make sure that the things are delivered to the children exactly the way they were planned. And also to take care, of any technical glitch in the network, so that the session can be carried on smoothly. And children shouldn't feel frustrated at all. We all understand how it feels when the network for one person suddenly drops or gets hanged, and our children are too young to understand that kind of a thing. So that's all I wanted to share with all of you as to how we run our online classes at Little Genius Preschool. And if any one of you still has any doubt or any query, kindly contact me on this number. I will just share it with all of you. Give me a minute. Yes, so this is our address and our number. It's 9075357058. So please feel free to contact me, and if you have any doubt or you need any more information regarding our curriculum or our classes, please, I will be really happy to answer all your queries. So, okay. This is my WhatsApp number also. You can even WhatsApp me on this number. Okay. So thank you all for coming and joining me today. Hope you all liked the story. Thank you. Thank you so much for such lovely and wonderful comments. I'm really happy you all enjoyed today's story. Even I did. And so thank you and take care. See you all next Sunday at same time, 11 a.m. Take care and bye-bye.